Yeah. Oh, you did it! You were right on it.
I love
was
it.
like, I kept going, like, I don't know.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're here. We're live. How is everyone doing? Happy Monday. I can't believe it's Monday, July 13th. Shout out to my bestie, Rachel. Happy birthday, girl. Happy birthday. I feel like this episode should be brought to you by Feig's Barbecue. Feig's Barbecue. Sorry, I said that wrong. Our friends of ours. Another shout out to them because I know that they have been killing it during COVID with pop-ups and takeouts. So hi everyone. We are here. We have so much to talk about today. I mean,
we're here.
Fun-filled Monday. We're gonna try to do this in 40 minutes or less. But we're excited. We have information to talk about. I'm gonna do my hair while Yvette kind of gives us the rundown. Yvette, let them know what's going on today.
Okay. Well, first, hello, my name is Yvette Valdenegro, and I own Pop-Up Wedding Houston. And this is my partner in crime, co-host, and newly formed term work wife, as everybody keeps saying.
Yep, my work wife.
Kills me. Anyway, she runs, owns, partners. She's got Mia Bell Houston. She's got this podcast. She's a wham bam entrepreneur doing many things in life. We're actually both doing tons of stuff. That's why today, when we talked about what we're going to talk about, for one, after the whirlwind weekend we just had, we wanted to talk about that, what had happened, what's transpiring, and all of the fun things coming up in the future. So that being said, I think let's honestly start off on a really positive note.
Yeah.
I love the fact that even though we are in the middle of a pandemic, and even though everybody's saying close down, shut down, masks on, basically don't do anything, there are weddings still happening and there are people still getting married, and they are absolutely amazing. And we got to host and put on 4 pop-ups this weekend, which it's funny because I remember when we scheduled everything at the beginning of it, I was like, oh yeah, 4. Then you get you start doing, you're like, oh my God, whose suggestion was it to do 4?
Yeah.
Ours.
Yes, that was our fault.
It was great because it was 2 back-to-back, 2 back-to-back. One on Friday was still part of our, I guess, promotions that we had put out as far as doing the free ceremonies. And then the second one of Friday night was more of a regular pop-up, and then the same thing was for on Saturday. But as always, they all kind of got some freebies thrown in there.
Yes.
And it was really very exciting, tear jerkers, special moments. But anyway, we'll go into those details because that's what we want to talk about, all of the things that are going on. So do you want to talk about some about the details over there?
Yeah. So for those of you guys who don't know, Yvette and I have hosted pop-up weddings through COVID, starting April, May, June, and now we're in our 4th month of July. We hosted our 20th pop-up this weekend, and they are in high demand. So I think when we first started this collaboration partnership, it was kind of hard because people were like, oh, we're just going to wait till things go back to normal. We obviously know that things will never go back to normal, especially in our industry. So we kind of tested this out at the beginning of April. I think by May, we felt really solid in what we were doing. And then this weekend was just a preview of really what's to come for us for this fall and early next spring. So we've really mastered the formula. We figured out how many weekends we can actually, or how many pop-ups we can host in a weekend. And we want to really talk about 8/8/20, but this weekend, there was something about the live streaming, the DJing, the photography, everything fell into place. And between Friday nights, we had 2, like Yvette said, we had 2 pop-up weddings. We had a 30-minute ceremony where couples can just come in for an hour. You pay an access fee. You come take pictures, have your close family. And then we had the 90-minute pop-ups, which have been the most popular ones now because it really is a micro wedding, intimate gathering. And we had 2 of those, one on Friday night, one on Saturday night. And just the stories that we're hearing, the people that we're meeting, the brides, the grooms, the family members, we really are impacting not only the couples that are getting married, their lives that we're impacting, just lives in general, because we are able to live stream these now. Our partnership is with LG events and productions, and they came in, gave a couple of freebies to some of our couples on Saturday. But this is just to show you that the show must go on. Like we get it. Like we know that we're in the middle of a pandemic, but we can't just sit here and wait. We have to move forward. So Yvette and I have kind of pioneered what that looks like and what the new norm looks like. And now we have 20 couples that can go back and tell you, between reviews, testimonies, and videos. So we're able to stream all of these on our pages. So if you haven't seen one of them, I would definitely go back to the Mia Bella Facebook page and the Pop-Up Wedding Facebook page. The 8/7/11/20 video is posted. It's live streamed from LG, and you can see what that looks like live. And then we'll kind of talk about what it's going to look like in the future here at Mia Bella at the venue. But we wanted to show you what we're doing. Like, we're not just talking about it here on the show. We're actually doing things and putting them out there, so that if you have a venue, if you're a wedding planner, if you're a vendor, if you're a couple and you're seeing this and you're like, how can we do this where I was supposed to get married? Or how can I, get in contact with you guys? How can you help us, share and educate? That's what we're doing. That's what we've been doing and what we're here, kind of like our purpose. So we've spotlighted our couples. You can go back to last weekend and see two. If you just want to go to the Pop-Up Wedding page or the Mia Bella Houston page, you can see multiple. Or if you can't find anything or you don't know how to find them, just get a hold of us. We can share the link with you. They'll also be on YouTube. Like, anywhere that you watch streaming, we can get that to you guys. So I really just wanted to share our stories and just how really we've impacted so many couples' lives. So with that being said, what do we want to talk about? We have one spot left for 8/8/20. Oh, look.
Yes.
Hi, Erin.
What?
Erin's on. Look, brought to you by Feeja's Barbecue. She's watching right now.
Goofy. So goofy.
I love it. So why don't we talk about 8/8/20, because we've been promoting that for 8 weeks now, and we have one spot
left. Okay, this is what I love about the one spot. It's 7:00, and they can go from 7 to 8:30, and then can transition. We are getting a lot of calls that are asking, people are wanting to have food or appetizers or something in addition to what they're doing with the ceremony. This is a perfect time slot for someone who wants all the things that are already included. So for $2,600, everything that's still included: photography, cake, the arch, the photo booth, live streaming ourselves, the venue, the setup, the cleanup, the whole 9 yards is all floral is all included. In addition to that, you can add on either past appetizers, and or have a sit down dinner, so you don't have to go anywhere, and we'll put you in contact exactly with the people that you need to be in contact with. So amazing opportunity. And the cool thing is, as it's all coming together, one of the things we also wanted to mention is Friday night before the wedding.
Oh, yes.
We are now, and I don't want to give all the juicy details, but I'll just give you what we're doing. We are now going to have a combination of an open house for Mia Bella, coupled with a style shoot that's going to be like ultra amazing. So that being said, I can guarantee you between the decorations, what it's going to look like, everything being done at the venue, because the venue's now getting finished up with the remodel. It looks amazing. You got to go on the Mia Bella pages or Instagram or whatever and look at the new wall color and what it looks like in there. And we're still playing with it because the wedding's on Friday night. We didn't have some uplighting in yet. We had to wait for that to come in on Saturday. And so the weddings on Saturday got to have, and of course, as I mentioned these things, it's not like, this is all added additional things that these, couples are getting. It's like, we're going to add, now we're going to add, and we're going to add. Anyway, it looks so pretty, so amazing. So I can't wait to see what it all comes like, or when it all comes together, what it's all going to look like on 8/8 or 8/7. So that entire weekend is just going to be built around, what does the venue look like when it's completely, all done up? And this the amazing thing, someone who comes to that open house, they're going to get to see, so the couples out there, you're going to get to see Mia Bella Houston completely, like, what will this look like if you want to celebrate now, and then, I'm sorry, ceremony now, celebrate later, or if you just want to book a pop-up, or if you just want to book in the future for a full wedding in next year. You'll see all of the dynamic pieces put together, and it's all going to be put together by amazing, true wedding professionals in Houston.
Yes, I love it. So 8820, one spot left, but this is the good news. Because these pop-up weddings are in such high demand, and because couples are now realizing that this is the new norm, Yvette and I have decided that we will be doing once a month, 4 pop-ups in a Saturday. I know, mind-blowing, because A, couples are loving it. B, we've already done 20. C, it's literally everything and anything that you want. We're incorporating food, because that was the one thing that couples really wanted. So you can have a 90-minute pop-up in September, in October, in November, and in December on a Saturday. Yes, I said it, on a Saturday. So because 8820 filled up so quick, we have talked to our teams. Everyone's on board. We will be doing an 11 a.m., a 1:30 p.m., a 4 p.m., and a 7 p.m. pop-up every single month on a Saturday. So I really want to make sure, now this is important to Yvette and I. We really want to make sure that these are for couples that have been affected by COVID. So not to say that a couple that hasn't, that wants to do a pop-up can. We can customize something for you. We can pick your own date. But these 4 have been just something that we have been working with couples all summer. And we want to make sure that if you can't get a venue anymore, you lost your venue, you can go to your destination one, like anything that you had planned. We really want to kind of reserve those spots for them, because there's so many couples out there. Like we see it every single day, either on Bride to Bride, on our private Facebook group. We're just hearing these stories, and this is what they can do. This is what's reasonable. It's on a budget, but you're still being able to get everything. So you'll be, again, like Yvette said earlier, because I want to make sure you understand, it's literally like having a wedding. It's just mini, it's micro, and it's in 90 minutes. And it's so, your guests love it, your photographer loves it, your DJ loves it, and it's live stream. Like, the most important thing that you need to understand, that you may have up to 25 people here, but you can invite 100, 200 people all over the world, because it's going to be live stream. So make sure that you understand that it's still, they can still see you getting married. They can still see you do your vows. They can still see you do your walking in, your first dance, cutting the cake, doing a toast. All of that is still included in a 90-minute pop-up. And we're going to be able to give your guests past apps while you're taking pictures and not rushing. If you want to do, the later on, the 7 p.m. slots are the best ones for having dinner. So if you want to still have a sit-down dinner, the 7 p.m. slot is going to be the one where you can come in and sit down and have dinner. So what we'll do is, on the Mia Bella page and on the Pop-Up Houston page, we are going to this week put what those dates are, what time slots, and how to contact us to reserve the date. So you're going to have to put a retainer down to save the date. And then after 8820, you'll be able to see exactly what we're doing live. You'll be able to have pictures of it. So you'll be able to have an example. So that's going to be our first full day of 4 pop-ups. And if you want to go to the Mia Bella Houston page now, you can see what that looked like last weekend. You can see what it looked like on 7/10 and on 7/11 with all 4 of our couples. So I hope that excites people. I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, it makes me so sad that people aren't able to have their full on weddings that they wanted to have, but I am so thankful and I'm really happy that this is actually an option. And I feel like there's 3 categories out there. There's the couples who are just like, we don't care, we just want to get married, we're so over this, and we're not going to let COVID get in our way, or for whatever situation they find themselves in, they're getting married. Then there's that kind of tweener group where it's like, God, they've rescheduled again, or they're just kind of like hanging out in this limbo mode because they've been going like this through COVID. And it's like that's really the very emotional group. I mean, it's because it's hard. And then there's the group that never really had a date, but they are engaged and they're going, what do we do? And they're either doing A and B, or they're waiting all the way till next year. But I feel like as reality kicks in and what we're really all faced with. The people that really are saying, we just want to get married. We just want to make this happen. This is what this is for. You know, obviously there's still options. There's venues open. You're open for doing the larger weddings and stuff. Awesome. Great. Both of us can help you. But this is the best. And my favorite part is the streaming and how people can still, you know, come in, watch. So again, yes, I won't reiterate what you said. I'll just say, watch the streaming that we have on our pages and get a taste of what it's really like.
Oh, Jocelyn is on. She's so sweet. So I'm going to read what she just posted on
our bride, Jocelyn.
Yes, Jocelyn from Saturday. She says, I'm so thankful for you guys. We loved our wedding this weekend and we love the venue. Thank you for making our day so special and making it a memorable moment for us. See, we love that. I think it's fantastic. And the streaming is a video that you'll have forever. So even if someone wasn't able to join you live, you're able to have that streaming video. And I want to also talk about all of these pop-ups that we've had. Now we've had over half, I would say almost half of our couples going ahead and adding on the celebration later. So they came in, they did their pop-up wedding, they had their ceremony, and then they're like, you know what, we really want to take advantage of.
When you say it's Alyssa and Evelyn. So make sure you say when you're saying they, that everybody else knows who they are.
Yes, Alyssa and Evelyn. And then we have another couple that already booked a pop-up for 11/8/20, but they're going to do their reception next year because their family cannot travel right now. So you can still have your ceremony now and celebrate later. Like that's a concept that's going to be, I would say, for the rest of this year. So if you still want to get married right now, that doesn't mean you can't have a party later. All we're doing is saying, we're going to cut your wedding in half. We're going to do your ceremony right now. You're still going to be able to take some amazing pictures, put your dress on.
Oh, amazing.
Yes, you know, grooms, you're going to be able to put your tuxedo on. And then what we'll do is all of those pictures, the live stream, will be available here at your reception and your front in the cocktail hour room. So you'll have these beautiful pictures of your ceremony. You'll have your live stream playing on a television where your guests can see that. And then you'll just come in and have a party. How fun is that? You just show up. You can dress up. You don't have to dress up. You can buy another outfit.
So much less stressful too.
Yes.
Oh my God,
and
all that stuff.
You can celebrate your 1-year anniversary. You can have all your friends and family here. And all you're doing is literally eating, drinking, and having a party and dancing. Like those are the 3 things that really is hard to do right now because we're gonna I think this is a great way to go into virtual streaming and how to survey your guests, which we had a whole episode last week on that. And it's been something that we're doing here at Mia Bella. And I think it's important for you to understand that it is okay now to save the date. This is literally what you're going to do. Send a save the date and say, would you like to RSVP in person or would you like to RSVP virtually? And we've already seen over 60% of couples guests are RSVPing virtually. So 2 things happen there. A, reduces your guest count so you can be within regulation. B, reduces your budget. So now you went from, hosting 200 guests and going, ooh, I can't do everything that I wanted because 200 people are going to be here. And now you can have 75, 100 guests and everybody else joins you virtually. They don't even have to dress up. No one's going to see them. They're just going to see you. Or maybe they want to dress up. They can do their hair and makeup. We don't care. All we care about is saying there is no right or wrong. There is no, oh my God, that's so tacky. If anything, will you agree with me? It's been such a stress reliever for our couples. And they're like, oh, thank God, because it's just so many people. And you want to take everybody else's situation. Like you want to make sure that you're considering their situation. I think right now, a lot of people don't understand, like Texas is open, but a lot of other states are not, countries aren't. So we have to really make sure we're taking other people's situation into consideration because it's just not fair to put them in that situation. And what if they don't want to hurt your feelings, but they don't feel like it's the right time for them to go into a larger or a smaller gathering? They just don't want to hurt your feelings. So I think that's really important. Yeah. I'll let you know.
It's very stressful too, from what we heard from our clients, is that everyone's giving them 5 million different opinions. I mean, they've got their parents, other people's parents, or their fiance's parents, their parents, family, aunt and uncles, people all over. Is this happening? Not happening? We're traveling. We're not traveling. It's hard. It's hard enough to plan a wedding. Then all of a sudden in a pandemic, you're asking 150 to 200 people to all tell you right now? I mean, in the sense of their opinions, or like them saying, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know, versus just saying, okay, well, here's some options. What would you feel better? Because they're not, it's like, I don't know. It's so stressful because you have to listen to everybody telling you what to do versus you're like, okay, we're going to give you the solutions are we're doing this way or we're doing this way. What do you feel more comfortable with? And I totally agree with you. I think that people will be open and honest because most of the people we've talked to have said, thank you for sharing this with us, because when we ask, they are not coming.
Yep.
So instead of them being stressed out to like, how do I do this? An almost impossible task, it's like, oh my gosh, I don't have to be so stressed out to do it now because these people just told me they weren't even coming, even if I had stressed out and planned 150 people to come to a wedding, in a couple months or whatever. I also want to say this to Alyssa and Evelyn, if they're still listening. She just said it was such a memorable moment for her.
That was Jocelyn. No, that was Jocelyn earlier.
Oh, Jocelyn? Okay, yeah. Sorry. Jocelyn had said it's such a memorable moment for the couples. Giovanna and I were in the back still crying. Like when people share their
stories,
their vows, and for some reason over the weekend we had, I think almost everyone did their own vows. I think maybe except for one couple.
Yep.
I was like, oh my gosh, because it's their true heart sharing to one another what they are vowing to do or how they feel about the other person. And all of a sudden you're just like, oh my gosh, I get to share in this most intimate moment of someone's life with them. And I don't know. I swear, I just laugh at myself because I'm like, why are you laughing? How many weddings have you been to? I mean, not laughing, crying. You've been to all these weddings and you still get so emotional with just love.
We'll do a Facebook Live with one of our couples because I know that our audience loves to see guests, and then we will have one of our couples come on as our guest so they can talk about their experience, honestly, from like the before the experience and then being here and then the aftermath, because I think that's important for couples to speak to couples. But I also wanted to still kind of talk about the how to survey your guests if they're going to come in person or if they're going to RSVP virtually. Here are three types of guests that are going to reply to you virtually. Okay, these are facts. One, obviously, if they're high risk, their health, you have your older family members that just can't come. We obviously respect that and we want them to join virtually. Two, there's going to be a lot of people who have lost their jobs and financially they just really can't afford to even maybe get a babysitter or drive in, fly in, those situations. Three, the guests that didn't want to tell you that they just didn't want to go to your wedding, and now they have the virtual option. They're gonna be like, oh, thank goodness. So not only are they not going to come, but they're probably still going to send you a gift. We're going to put the links up there for your registry. But now you have three guests, and sometimes the people that just don't RSVP because they don't want to hurt your feelings. Those can be any of those three guests. But now that's what we're seeing most of. So people that just can't come because of risk, high risk situations. B, couples that or guests that just can't come because of financial situations, and C, couples that just didn't, or guests that did not want to come and they didn't want to tell you. And then that leaves you with a smaller guest count where either you can just save that money or you can start to get a little more things that you maybe couldn't afford before. Maybe you wanted to have an amazing grand exit with these confetti guns, or maybe you did want to rent, the champagne wall, or maybe you wanted to have the fun little, donkeys at your happy hour, and that was just not in the budget. Now you can kind of add more things to your reception. So that's, I think, a really good recap on live streaming. And then maybe we can talk a little bit about our private membership group because it is growing and we really wanted to explain it again. Yvette and I are pioneering a lot of new things. So when people ask me all the time, I actually had one of my another female entrepreneur here in Houston. Her name is Kalish. I'm her kind of her accountability partner. She's been asking me about how our beta program went for Just Engage University Bootcamp, and like just how people are responding with the newness, because we are kind of creating the new norm for the wedding industry here in Texas and in Houston. And it's not easy. Like, I think people kind of see us because how our personalities are, how Yvette and I work really well together. They think it's really easy. I do. They're like, oh my God, we see you all the time. And like, oh, you're hustling and you're working all the time. And I'm like, but it's been challenging for us. Like this is,
I don't think they just also, I think they also think, woohoo, crazy girls, woohoo, crazy. What are they doing now? Oh my God, why did they say this? Why did they say that? Oh my gosh. I'm on it. I'm totally honest. I mean, like so the group that you are referring to, we started last week a group called the Wedding Professionals Houston Embracing the New Norm. The sole purpose of the group is to connect true wedding professionals here in the city of Houston with couples who are looking for true professionals. And then we have a list of requirements that we've asked from the wedding professionals to be in the group. We got pushback. I shouldn't say pushback. It wasn't even a pushback. It was more like oh my gosh, this is amazing. This is what we need. And then we had a few people that were negative, and I don't mind talking about that. One of the negatives was, and because I want to address it to make sure it is completely clear to anybody who's listening. One of the issues that came up was, are we completely disclosing to couples that are entering into the group that the vendors that are part of the group pay $5 a month to be members? Okay, I'll say it again. We know and acknowledge it is written in the description in the group that every single vendor who is a part of the group, who makes it through the requirements, by the way, will be paying $5 a month. Whopping $5. Oh my God, $60 a year. Now, is that like a referral business? Like we're now creating a business where like we're referring people? No, because we're not saying that we're referring these people as Yvette and Giovanna or Pop Up and Mia Bella. We're not saying that we're referring these people. We're saying these people have been vetted and follow and have gone through the requirements to be in the group. First of all, there's no way we don't have our own personal wedding. So how could we ever know exactly what it's like to work with every single one of these individuals? There's no way that's going to happen. Hopefully the group gets big enough that it goes beyond people that we personally know. Secondly, that money is strictly going right now just to promote the group. We're not doing this, again, not doing this to make money. The work that I've already gotten or put into doing this, is not equal, 50 cents an hour is not equating job opportunity whatsoever. This is solely our desire to say, industry, couples, connect, and here's why. Right now, the wedding industry is bleeding because events are not happening. And the information, resources, and highways that are going out there as far as like what to do, what not to do, who to hire, not to hire. Can you have this? Mask, no mask? How are you supposed to serve food? No food. I mean, like can we have a dance floor? No dance floor. I mean, there's so many things out there. There's a lot of misinformation. And unfortunately, that misinformation is coming from people who are not wedding professionals. Not wedding professionals. Not getting their paycheck, their livelihood from being a wedding professional. Right. Again, that's like me wanting surgery and I'm getting advice from a school teacher.
Yep.
Postman.
Yep.
The person I just saw at HEB. And there's nothing wrong with those professions. They're awesome. They didn't go to school or have the knowledge for surgery. I'm not going to go ask someone that first. And here's the thing. And you know why? Because sometimes people are just like, what's the big deal? You're making an investment. And right now, from what we all hear and know, finances and financial stability is extremely important to people. They are watching their pennies and they want to know exactly what they're spending it on and the value of what they're spending it on. Yeah. So even more so, go consult if I had tax issues right now, I would call CPA, someone who really knows what they're doing. I'm not going to just, go to my hairdresser and go, hey, what do you do? Okay, well, what she does may not be right.
Yeah.
Or legal.
Well, and we also, what we want to explain is that here's the group. The group, yes, it's a paid membership group because we have already done all the work as well. The requirements are extremely long. We're not going to go through all of them, but the most important thing for us, insurance. Vendors should have insurance. And the second most important thing to us is that they have worked a actual event through COVID, because reading the rules and regulations and policies is not doing it. So we want to make sure that we're getting a qualified vendors, licensed, insured, have current reviews, have worked an event through COVID, and then we are getting couples who are already ready to make the decision to plan a wedding. So they're very specific people. So when someone asks me, well, we can get that in bride to bride. Bride to bride is a group to beg, barter, trade, sell, and for brides to talk about inspirational things. And yes, you can talk about your vendors and talk about who was great, but this is literally a group. We don't want 50,000 people in that group. We want these specific Houston area vendors to meet up. We're kind of like the match.com. And what we want to do is say, here are the couples who are ready to plan their wedding. They have a initial budget. They may need we're wanting to get those wedding planners out there first to connect them and say, okay, we've already vetted you. We already know that you are licensed, insured, gone through COVID, have current reviews. What else do couples want from that? There should be nothing else. That is very, very important, because you don't want to be with anybody that's not done an event through this or been at a venue that's done an event or something COVID related. Because again, reading the rules and regulations and actually hosting an event, you're not only, I want to say this correctly, but we are Uncut and Unleashed. So it's very important for your staff to be protected, for your couples, your guests, for everyone to feel comfortable being at the place that's hosting this event. So again, Yvette and I refer this as like, Mia Bella is my home. It's my second home. So when I'm opening up the doors, I want to make sure that my staff is comfortable, my couples are comfortable, and their guests are comfortable. So this group is specifically for that. If you don't fit in those two boxes, then that's not a group for you, and that's fine. But we wanted to have that available, because this show is really the bridge that brings the wedding industry and the couples together through education, tools, and resources. And now we're taking it a step ahead and doing a private membership group to make that happen. Because Yvette and I are only two people. There's thousands of couples in Houston that need help. So we're trying to say, okay, these are the people that you can talk to. Find your wedding planner, find your venues, and then from that group, if you've already gotten those two things, then you can find the rest, and the work is all done. You're not having to call, get, verify. We're doing that ahead of time.
Yeah, and let me just say this too. There have been some people that I know personally that I have not been able to let in the group.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, and I have side conversations with them, so it's not like they're mad, but I've said, okay, these are the requirements, and I don't want anybody in the group, because we're doing our due diligence the best that we can to only allow people that really do fit the requirements. The websites, Facebook, the liability insurance, the reviews, the experience, and that their contracts really do say and have new wording about the new normal and rescheduling, retainers, all that kind of stuff. So it's very clear ahead of time. So again, people are not confused, which is the whole point of doing the group, so that there was not so much more or so much confusion. That being said, too, a positive thing was, and I'm not going to call him out, but bless his heart, and he was very, very patient. I don't know him. He was a vendor. Actually, Giovanna knew him. And I was like, he doesn't fit like the review requirement. So I said, she goes, well, why don't we just ask him to give us some people in the wedding industry that would vouch for who he is. And so I did my due diligence, and I called them, and I wanted to know, do you know this person? How do you know them? Have you worked with them? What was your feedback? Because it's not like it's some strict major list, but it was also to say, okay, again,
we have to be consistent. We have to be consistent. We will stay consistent. We will follow the rules. Yeah, because there's friends of ours that we can't bring into the group because they don't meet all the requirements. And I feel bad, but we're going to help them get there. Like, the goal is to help you get there. Everybody has to meet the requirements, but this is, again, specifically made for couples who are ready, who already have a budget, who already know that may not have the time. And we are literally taking that stress and that it's really time is money. We're taking that and saving them the money to say, okay, well, what do you need? Match.com. And here we go. If this is what you're looking for, and you can put that in a post with how much you want to spend. Like, this is a very transparent group. Great.
Yep.
Vendor 1, 2, and 3, we meet those requirements. We're going to message you offline, and we've done our job. Once those couples get taken care of, they fall off the list. And then, we hope that they come back and give a review, and then we move on. It's just in and out. The vendors stay there the whole time. Couples come in and out. And then we want couples to refer other couples into their group when they know they're ready to make those decisions. That's it. Easy peasy. Like, we're not trying to do anything else. We don't want to reinvent the wheel for bride to bride. It's not the groups for us. We're really just getting vetted vendors with couples who are ready to make the decision. So,
and here's another,
go ahead.
I was going to say, here's another blanket Uncut and Unleashed statement. If you don't feel comfortable with any of that, don't be a part of the group.
Yeah.
Honestly, life's too short. Seriously,
you're not going to hurt our feelings.
No, you're not going to hurt our feelings at all. Go find resources and other groups that you feel like support what you're doing and or what vendor, bride, couple, whatever. It doesn't matter. We felt like, wow, this is what we're seeing. Let's make this group and let's make it work for the wedding community. So I think enough said with that one.
Yep. I think we can finish with the 2 things that we're working on, but we don't want, we can't really tell you too much.
We can't tell you too much. The secrets that it's like being in junior high. I know something you don't know, but I kind of want to tell you a little bit.
Yeah. So I want to definitely.
Okay, I'll let you do one.
Yes. And I know a lot of people have started joining towards the end. So if you didn't catch the beginning of this live, go back, watch, because we did talk about our pop-up weddings this weekend, which were fantastic. We also talked about live streaming and the new norm of our RSVPing virtually to a wedding. We also talked about our last spot for 8/8/20. But if you can't make it on that spot, we're going to have pop-ups available once a month, every Saturday, once a month. And then now we're kind of getting, if you missed the part of our private Facebook membership group, listen to that. And now we're going to leave you with
2 things.
2 things, yes. What do you?
Okay, do one and I'll do the other. You do. I don't care which one you pick. Just go with one.
So tomorrow we are going to be talking with, you guys met Sarah Margolis. She's the CEO of Honey Fund. She was on June 8th and really talked about how they're embracing the new norm on Honey Fund with their registry. We're going to be having an awesome virtual consultation, but how we can really collaborate together and really keep on helping not only the wedding industry, but couples. She's very focused on couples and how she can help them through COVID. So we're going to sit down and talk about partnerships, collaborations, because, we love doing those. And then more to come on that. And then Yvette can tell us our second good news, which we'll just give you a little bit. Okay.
Just a teeny tiny bit. Giovanna and I got to, over the weekend, sit down and we were interviewed. I'm not going to say by who, but we're just really excited. And honestly, mainly just because it's hopefully just to get the word out more about what we're doing, so that the whole reason we're doing it is so love can still happen and these weddings can still go on in whatever form someone wants to have them. Pop up, stay at home, this ceremony now, celebrate later, venues, whatever. But it was so wonderful to be able to talk to someone, and I had to laugh because I think we both went a mile a minute in our interview. As far as my mask was going in and out, I could barely breathe because I was so we're just both really excited to share with someone what we've been doing, and in the hopes that beyond this Facebook group, anybody that listens to us, which I want to say thank you to our friends and vendors that are out there and our clients do, but mainly the group of people that when they do say, oh yeah, I've seen what you've been doing. I saw your, the podcast. I mean, sometimes, if we're talking and I'm not paying attention to numbers or whatever, we're just sharing, but I'm like, really? So thank you for doing that. Yeah. And we just hope, we want to keep the industry going. We want love to keep happening, and we want these celebrations to keep happening. So the more people that find out about it, the better. So we were just excited we'll make that announcement as soon as she tells us when she's going to do what she's doing and be done with it.
Yes. So much on this podcast today. And also for people that don't know, I feel like there's so many things, but Just Engage University is kind of like the baby that formed Uncut and Unleashed. And I have a podcast that I started back in 2019 that now Yvette and I share, and we love to do. So everything that we do here, we actually put it into our podcast. So if you don't want to watch us, which I don't know why you wouldn't want to look at these beautiful faces, but if you don't want to watch us, you can always listen to our podcast because it's on Apple. It's on, Apple, on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play. And then if you don't want to consume this via audio or visual, which again, I don't know why, we have wonderful voices and beautiful faces, you can actually just go to our Uncut and Unleashed Facebook group. It's absolutely free. And we have articles, we do recaps, we have additional tools and resources. I just feel like we have a little bit for everyone, and you may not know that. So just make sure you kind of go to Just Engage University. It's also linked in our Mia Bella page. It's linked in the pop-up wedding page, but we have something for everyone. So whatever your flavor is, if it's audio, if it's visual, we also have a YouTube. Like, yeah, we're on YouTube. I wish my intern would come in and talk to you guys. She could have said bye on the show. My intern is teaching me how to make sure I say, don't forget to hit the little like button, subscribe. And I'm still really bad at the YouTube thing, but she tells me, Mom, you have to master YouTube. So my intern is my 11-year-old daughter. She's polishing silverware right now outside. So,
hey, Bailey.
I know. Hi, Bailey. So she's fantastic. But we do want to make sure you know that there's more than just this. We still are offering complimentary consultations. So that's very important to us as well. If there's something that you heard that resonates with you, that you're like, oh my God, I really wish I can talk to them, you can. We have a link that we can share with you for our calendars. We give you 30 minutes for free. If you're a vendor, if you're a venue, if you're a couple, whoever you are, and you just want more information on pop-up weddings, ceremony now, celebrate later, how to do a small wedding right now. I want to plan a wedding in 2021, whatever it is, we can answer those questions. And if we don't have the answers, we find them for you. Like, that's really how we do. So make sure you grab a consultation with us. So with that, we'll be back every Monday. We will try really hard to see if we can get one of our couples on next week. Let's look at their schedules, one of our previous pop-up weddings, and see if they can come and join us. But if you need anything else from us, message us, find us, DM us, and we will be with you guys. So thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.